Hi and welcome to the final boss guide video of Naxxramas, Kel'thuzad. If we made it this far, we'll definitely get a kill in as well. Kel'thuzad is fought in 3 phases, with the second and third phase being very similar. First phase is an add phase, where the entire raid will gather up in this middle platform. Don't go past this gate because once you start moving in, you'll engage the fight. And ads will start spawning. Melee, you'll just be stood in the middle. Range, you'll start killing ads that come in. We'll have 3 type of ads. There'll be some skeletons, there'll be some banshees, and there'll be some abominations. It's important that you do not use any range AoE that hit multi-targets. So if you see a cluster of skeletons or anything, don't use Rain of Fire on it. Because if you hit any of the ones that are stood on the platforms out here, I'll show you when we get into the room, you pull the entire room and we wipe. This also goes out to hunters especially, because I know multi-shot is part of your rotation. Do not use multi-shot on this bit. Do not do it. Because you will just wipe the raid in case that goes south. And it's not worth it for the extra bit of damage. Now, the first phase is a bit slow. Everyone else stood in the middle. Tanks, you pick up the abominations or whatever comes in. They hit for a bit, but it's nothing major. Just make sure that you kill them as they come in. Tank whatever needs to be tanked. For phase 2, Kel'thuzad has a wide range of abilities. So he'll engage for phase 2. He'll use Frostbolt, which needs to be interrupted by warriors and rogues. So warriors set up an interrupt rotation, rogues set up an interrupt rotation as well, because there's a lot of damage going out in this fight, so healers will be stressed, and the Frostbolt hurts a lot. Other than Frostbolt, he also casts Frostbolt Volley. This cannot be interrupted and is cast every 15 seconds, and it will just damage the entire raid. So that's for the static damage going out. One of the main mechanics in phase 2, however, is Chains of Kel'thuzad, which is a mind control ability. This mind control targets the main tank and 4 random players in the raid. When the main tank is mind controlled, he loses all threats, so threat table is dropped, and he starts back from 0. This means an off tank needs to carry on. You can taunt the boss, just take over main tanking, whilst everyone else CCs the mind control people so that they don't run around and don't kill people, and so that they don't get killed. Now, this is especially important because this is one of those fights a bit like Cthulhu, where it's important where you stand. The reason for this is that Kel'thuzad also has 3 other abilities. One is called Shadow Fissure, which is a red circle around your feet that will spawn periodically, and after 3 seconds it will explode, dealing 60,000 damage. So again, a one-shot mechanic. He'll also use Detonate Mana on a random mana user, burning half of their mana bar over 5 seconds, and then you'll start like exploding with arcane damage around you. So make sure that you're not stood too close, in case 2 of you get Detonate Mana and you start just like arcane exploding the whole raid. This also means that mana users, you need to have mana gems, you need to have mana potions for this fight. Innovate is incredibly important to make sure that we have enough mana going through the entire thing. The last one is Frost Blast, and this is the important one. Every 30 seconds, Kel'thuzad will target a random player in the raid, freeze them in an ice cube for 5 seconds, and anyone standing within 10 yards range will also be frozen. Now, this ice cube does 130% of your max health in damage, so you will die unless you get healing. So healers need to be on point for these ice tombs or frost blast targets. This also means that you need to respect the 10-yard range at all times during this fight, because if you entomb 2 or 3 people at the same time, we'll just wipe from that thing. It causes a chain reaction usually as well and gets a lot of people killed. Also, with the spot healing that you need, people might die to Shadow Fissure because the healers are stressed out healing the people in tombs. So make sure that you keep 10-yard range. That's really the important bit. So stay spread. Other than that, interrupt Frostbolt. Frostbolt Volley goes out. There's a lot of damage. CC the mind control targets. When you get to 40%, you trigger phase 3, which is the final bit of it. And Kel'thuzad will spawn 5 guardians from these portals in Northrend. You can CC these Guardians, they look a bit like a Nuprakan, and you will need to shackle 3 of them. So this will be in angry assignments, which priest will be doing the shackling. These need to be keep shackled throughout the entire or the remaining of the fight. The reason why you don't just shackle all of them is that if you shackle more than 3, Kel'thuzad will cast something called Shackle Shatter, which then breaks all of them. So only 3 of them, the rest of the 2 need to be tanked by off-tanks, who will then keep these Guardians. The Guardians only have one ability, which is called Blood Tap, which increases their size and damage dealt over time, and it can stack up to 99. Now, at some point, they start hitting too hard, so the tank needs to start moving away from them, and you need to kite them. You can keep kiting them around the room until Kel'thuzad dies, which shouldn't be an issue. You can outrun them. And once you kill Kel'thuzad, these will despawn, and you've basically completed Classic WoW. Right, I'll just go in, I'll show you the 3 phases, so you can see what's going on. So once you go in, gather up here in the middle of the room, start it. Now again, models change. Banshees don't look like this in Classic. And I can't remember, I think it's like 25 of these abominations you need to kill, maybe 15. So you just need to make sure that these come in, slowly but surely. You can see these activate, they're coming in. And we'll just keep killing these slowly and surely. The skeletons die quite quickly, the abominations take a bit of a while to kill. These need to be tanked and faced away from the raid. It's usually an idea to have the hunters focus on the skeletons, simply because they die quite quickly, and casters would have to have longer cast timers on them. So casters focus primarily on the big ones, but the skeletons do need to die. So if you see skeletons coming close, Cone of Cold, Fire Blast, something to kill him. They don't die in one Fire Blast, I don't think. I can't remember the health pool of them, but they die fairly quickly. But yeah, so first phase, you basically just clean up ads. Just waiting for Kel'thuzad to engage. Once all of the spawned ones, not just the mobs out here, but once all of the spawn ones have been killed, he'll engage, and we'll just have main tank ready to go on. They'll start despawning out here, I believe, once we get closer to the end of this. The reason why you want to stay in this metal platform is to be hit by shadow damage of these, so all of the abilities. So you just want to make sure you get hit by as few abilities as possible, so you drain as little mana as possible in phase 1. There's plenty of time to drain all the healer's mana in phase 2 and 3. Again, this is on retail, and I'm a high leveler compared to this, so don't do it as recklessly as I'm doing here. This is obviously just to get through the phase. There we go. Just need to get through this last bit. Here we go. We'll tank Kel'thuzad here near his throne. This is a Frostbolt, this needs to be interrupted. This is Shadow Fissure, this is the one you need to get out of. It's red in Classic. Here we go, let's detonate mana. See, I lost half my mana pool there. So yeah, basically, you just continue killing him. Here we go. Now these Guardians, these are the ones that we need to shackle. Summon one from each portal. Here we have the Blood Tap. So this is just continue, like once he has, till he has 5, you tank 2 of them, we'll call out which one will be tanked. You kill him, as soon as you kill him, see these despawn, or they run away, and you get loot, and congratulations, you've now killed the final boss in Classic WoW.